because I'm always going to feel weird recording myself.
Get used to it. I've had to do a lot of recording with.
I know. Alright, so you were saying you were having tension problems too, right?
Oh yeah, I get weird like tension from my, I think it's my ulnar nerve, up and only on my left side, up to my shoulder.
Alright.
And I've been working on relaxing my fingers when I play, and I have a plug-in so that I don't need to. I have an inline.
Yeah, I did too for years, and I actually kind of regret going to the offset. It's actually like weirder sometimes. Do you do any stretches before you play?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I've been teaching my students too. I do wrist rolls.
Okay.
And I just switch the direction, and then I do bending from the first knuckle.
Yep.
And this is what they taught us in Perk Tech, so that we like hand stretches and stuff in the opposite way. And then I'll do like wall stretches. Where I go up to the wall and go like this.
Good.
And then if there's like an open doorway, I'll do where you bend it this way, so stretch out here.
Okay. Is that it?
I mean, I do like where you grab your elbows too and bend
Like
to the
that
sides.
one? Okay.
I do yoga, so I'm pretty bendy.
That's fair. There's a couple other ones that I want to try. Okay, so this is one that's it's a I don't know if my brain would work, that would help. Paula Robeson. That's the person. It's one of her stretches from her book. So you start with hands to the floor. Feet a little bit apart. You hold it for 10, trying to reach down and touch the floor. Ooh. And then you go up like you're a zombie.
Still pulling down.
Pushing forward.
Oh, okay.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then reach for the ceiling. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And this is the fun one. Go towards the walls and push out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and shake it out. That should feel something.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, I like that one a lot. The other one that I like to do, which helps alleviate tension in your neck. So it's an isolation that you use in dance. So just look up, down, up, down, come back to center, left, right.
Do dance.
Left, dance fitness. Right, center, tilt, left, right, left, right, center, circle forward, circle the other way, balance on top of your head. Yep. And then the other one, it's kind of my favorite little cheat one. It's kind of a variation on the wall stretch. Except you go out this way and you turn to feel the stretch in your pec.
So kind of like what I do at the doorway.
Exactly. But it also stretches your shoulder. You have to roll your shoulder back a little bit so that it doesn't pop out of the socket. And then other side. Yeah, and that's...
I don't take enough time to stretch, but I like to stretch.
I don't either. I usually only do when I'm super tense, and I'm like,
Mostly what I try and do is when I'm playing, I think about lightening up my fingers a lot. Or like, am I pulling in too much or standing too straight?
One of the things that I learned a lot from singing is your body is constantly changing its alignment. And so, and it's harder with something that's out here because you're off balance, right?
You're always pulled to one side.
Exactly. But one of the things you have to do is even as you're playing, you have to be scanning through and looking for where you're holding tension. Because if you're holding tension even here a little bit, it goes down
Mhm.
here. Because I know when I get like nervous or whatever, I start holding tension in my shoulders as a way to cope with that.
I think I do it in my jaw.
Mm-hmm. And you can massage your jaw out too a little bit. And
I
your
take
tongue.
essential oil rollers and I'll roll it right at the jawline here.
Feels really good. So yeah, and those are all things that help at least me a little bit. Because I've dealt with overuse injuries a couple times, so.
Yeah, I might go to the doctor too just to see what they say, but mostly I'm trying to just stretch.
Yeah, which is important, but you never want it to flare up into something more than it already is. So I know that's always a fun.
Well, I'm about to go to grad school. I want to be
Yeah,
fit.
yes. And I mean, Jennifer will do some things with you where it's like if you tend to put your head forward a little bit, she has a neck brace. And she's got all sorts of wacky things that she learned from Mary. So she can help you a little bit. But yeah. Alright. Are you warmed up?
I played earlier today, but not in a couple hours.
That's okay. So what do you normally do for warm-ups?
I do harmonics and I usually do number 4 in TNG, but I've been going to more of the arpeggio exercises in the back because a lot of times in studio we mostly do 4, but we don't go outside of that.
Mhm.
So I do that, and then sometimes I'll do tonguing exercise on scales.
Okay.
But like I'll do or. And then not the harmonic, but the actual note.
Mm-hmm.
And I learned that from the teacher at Western Michigan, and she does it all the way up into B.
Okay. I want to try a couple of other harmonic exercises.
Sure.
And I am stealing these point blank from Pat George's book.
Okay.
So, you start on your lowest note on your B and go. And then you keep going up chromatically until A.
Okay. Would you usually slide your finger or no?
It depends on if you're in a passage where you have to go like from like and jump up or down. I just leave it.
Leave it, right?
Yeah, doesn't make a difference.
You want me to keep going?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so first question, what is the purpose of doing harmonics?
Well, I do them to make the higher register easier and more open. So like
Okay.
feeling the depth in the actual note.
So getting the lower harmonics to carry into the upper
Mhm.
into the upper note.
Mm-hmm.
Good. And that's important as you start to get into more orchestral rep. You'll also learn, like, the more you know
You can use them.
harmonic fingerings, you can cheat.
Mm-hmm.
And like Beethoven 9 is cheating all over the place. It's 2D, you can't, it's fine. So yeah, you can do that, which is helpful. The other thing is, it's one of the like random extended techniques
Mhm.
that you wind up seeing in like Takemitsu. Here, do a harmonic with the harp. Sure, why not? So it's, and that also trains the muscles here to do some of the crazy extended technique stuff that we're gonna start to dive into a little bit. So the next thing I want you to do is you're gonna finger an F, and you're gonna put down both drill keys. You've probably done this before, right?
Oh no, I actually haven't.
Best way to annoy your flute teacher ever. The point of this is not to annoy everybody on the face of the planet, but multiphonics, right?
Do you want to get both pitches at the same time?
Yeah. So it's really easy to do.
One or the other.
So what I actually want you to do is I want you to try to isolate the lower pitch first. Good. Now can you do the upper pitch? That was easy. Can you do both together? So you almost need to loosen your embouchure a little bit. Yeah. It's a weird learning curve of support and like embouchure control.
Does that do that in that book? I want that book.
You need this book for so many reasons.
I just
Also
messaged
because-
her today and I said, do you have any extended technique books that you'd recommend? It's probably going to be
All right.
this one.
I think she has some other ones too.
I know there was one by Dick. I
Oh
don't know.
yeah. That one's also really good. I think that one explains it a little better than this one. This one gives you all of the fingerings.
This one looks old.
This one.
Like 90s or 80s old.
Oh well, yeah. This is also sad because I've had this since like I was a junior in high school. My sad, depressed little book. Here we go. Find it to like the 2-note ones? That'd be great. There we go. We're starting to get there. Okay. So you can like there's pages and pages of multiphonic fingerings. It's totally wild. And have you heard Within?
By
Ian
who?
Clark?
I've probably heard it. I don't know what. I
Okay.
don't know.
There's all sorts of weird, wacky extended techniques. So the 2-note ones are typically a little bit easier than the like. Here, get 3 notes at one shot.
Oh yeah.
But this is a good place to start from. I know Jonathan Keeble at U of I.
Yeah.
He told us a story once. He asked one of his friends, like, he hadn't been that great of a flutist. He was like, so ran into him on the train in Chicago one time. I was like, hey, what are you doing? What are you up to? He's like, oh yeah, I'm doing my doctorate at some fancy schmancy school. He's like, oh, so what did you do to get in there, huh? He's like, oh, I just spent a year practicing multiphonics. Okay. And you have the singing and playing thing down pretty well, right?
I like to sing and play.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can work more on it, but I do exercise. I do sometimes warm ups where like if I want to work on an extended technique
Mhm.
warm up, I'll. Like sing up and
Yep.
down, but then I'll also like sing the same pitch when I go up and down to see if I can match it and keep it going.
Yeah. And there's all sorts of things you can do with that. One of my teachers had me do, I think it's T&J or EJ 2. What is it? do all of it
Yeah,
all
like
at once.
that's how I have my students two coo 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 like
Very
all
nice.
back and forth.
Yeah. Okay, so you know this guy. You've heard it.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll come back to the first page, but hello, singing and playing.
Yeah, I haven't seen this piece. Like I've heard it many times, but I've
Yeah.
never seen the music for it.
Yeah. So we'll just talk. We'll talk through. So the opening is, you've heard it. So how do I do this? And then the explosive harmonics. They sound much more dangerous than they are. You know. Regular, flutter, back to the airy sound. Singing and playing. And then the fun part.
The harmonics.
Why do you hate me?
Yeah, I can hear the low pitch is the one that's the harder one, right? To get.
Usually. It depends. Some people do better with it can be inverted, but yeah. And then timbrel trills. So it's not a full like quarter or half step. It's just like a color thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then you pretty much got it.
And that happens again, yeah.
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 Okay. So when you're doing the opening, it is a low beat. There's two versions, and every copy comes with both versions. C foot, B foot.
Okay.
So that's
I was wondering why the end was at the beginning.
different key. So yeah, you're starting on your low B, and in order to do this, you really kind of have to have no embouchure to do the opening.
Do you do tucka? Tucka.
Yeah, that's what I've done. Yeah.
Like that?
Yes. Can you?
I'm doing more of a cha at the beginning. I
Yes,
don't know.
you should
Okay.
be doing a. Yep. Can you put more air against the edge of the embouchure? You sound like a train now. Yeah, the first couple times you do this, you're like.
Yeah, it's just figuring out where to breathe, I think. Probably
which is
after.
A nightmare.
Ooh, that's the wrong note. Do you ever skip it, or do you just like have to take a really quick breath?
I should have marked my breath then.
Or you go faster.
Ugh. You'll spit all over the place. It's fine. So yeah, once you get down here and you've actually established what the sound is, you have to reform your embouchure a little bit to get the explosive harmonics. Seriously, why are they explosive? It sounds so bad. Not that the harmonics sound bad, but the wording sounds bad. I like it. Who put dynamite on the train? Do you want to try a little bit at 5?
I don't know if I'll be able to get those
That's okay.
notes out yet. Well, I just don't know how it's done. I've never read it like this, so how do
Okay.
you interpret that?
So play the harmonic. So.
You want that one?
Yep, hit the beat.
That one?
Should be right above. Yep.
That one?
This is, so when you start getting into more than one note,
Mm-hmm.
it becomes the gesture. It doesn't become correct because you have to hit. Sorry.
I understand.
Yeah, it's like a grace note on the beat. Just kind of like push as much air behind it.
Oh, but I need
as
to know
you
what the
can.
top one
Oh
is.
no, I know.
So that goes up to that's where that one will end, and then G A B C D E F.
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Do you understand my evil plan? Yep.
Oh God,
It's okay.
that's the best I can do.
That is
just
okay.
reading from it.
Well, it's more to introduce you to all of the different techniques because this is a really good piece to like
To do all
get
these
it
on.
exactly because it's super accessible too, and it's such an effect piece. So this one I'm gonna guess you're pretty good at.
Oh, I've never done it like this, but I do like to sing the pitches at the same time I play them. You sing down the octave and you play up the octave.
Yeah. Let's start at 24 together.
Mhm.
So, 1, 2, here we go.
And I didn't sing at the same time because I don't know it. I don't know where they want your voice to go.
It's a so here's the beautiful thing. Voice glissando.
Yeah.
Get it close. It's hard, I know.
My voice doesn't do. I guess it can.
I mean, when I was working on it, that I wanted to go through and like learn all of it.
Uh-huh.
And Jennifer's like, no, get the gesture, because it's all it really. You got to get the notes in your fingers, but it doesn't have to be in perfect octaves. Normally, it would be cleaner than that. Haven't played this in a minute. All right, but that's a general idea. And if you want to work on this, it of course doesn't have a price on it.
Oh, I'd buy it. Doesn't matter what it costs.
That's fair. It's not $20 when I bought it, so it's not gonna be terrible. Okay. The nice thing about this too is you get all of the fingerings
help,
written
right?
in. I'm not showing you that.
How do they want you to finger?
Haha. So how
Like
you
this?
finger? Do it that way, and then you're gonna totally cheat on how you finger the E. So it's. Sorry.
that to be 2 notes or no?
It needs to be 2 notes. Get the lower one.
Do they want that one in it?
C and E.
Can you play it?
Yep. It's really, yeah.
Oh, I have my first finger down. Maybe that.
I was doing that too. There you go. Try going into it from the A. There you go.
Okay.
Reading that, it's really weird to get the feel of. Good. All right. Next one. That's the one I showed you. That's the one we started on. Here's another trick.
Mm-hmm.
Just get your pinky out of there for this whole section. You don't need it.
What fingering is this one? Oh, the
First one. Yep. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
You're getting it. This is weird. You have to slide. It's so. Do you have to slide? Oh, I bet. Hang on. How did I do this? I was definitely sloppy, and I definitely wound up sliding a lot. So you just like nudge the trill key and get super sloppy with it. Here, there's also try using. Did I do
Little
that?
finger on the second trill key in bar 35.
Oh yeah, okay.
Oh my gosh, he wants your fingers to be monkey hands.
It's the first time in our lives we have the advantage of having small hands and playing flute.
Does he want this?
This. So. There you go, you were getting it. Way to be a train. Nice job. Okay. And then here are
New ones.
new ones. One that actually uses the pinky. You don't need me.
Yeah.
You got this. Yep, exactly. God.
It's hard to keep them at the same time.
Mm-hmm. into this section, one of the things that starts to happen is you start to turn things around because this is hardly different. It's literally a half step off. Not even. I don't know if this will help or hurt. Try it.
Huh?
Yeah, just ignore the pinky. It's not doing anything for you one way
Well,
or
this
another.
one doesn't require the pinky.
That's true. This one
Is it the
technically does.
same fingering? Is it the same note? No, it's two different ones. Yeah, they're about the same thing. I
Yeah.
think. Okay.
But also he. How does he do this? If using second finger. Oh, they're the same. Duh. I'm an idiot. Sorry. They're the same fingering for that
Yeah, yeah.
double stop.
And then we know this one already.
Exactly. My brain was like, overcomplicate things because that's what you do. And then we know these already, right?
Yeah, to an extent.
You just up the octave. I know. You got it? Pinky? Yeah? Good. It's
Yeah.
it's a lot, but
No, yeah.
Yeah.
Once you know the fingerings and incorporate them, it's not bad.
no, it's not. It's totally doable. And then
Is
this
this
one's
singing? No.
no, they're still doing multiphonics, but you know all of these. This is the only new one, and it's yeah, it's really weird. I know. And then that one is. There we go. Finally got it.
Which one?
The last bar is slightly different. It's similar but different. Good. Yeah. And then the last page is I think. Oh wait, sorry. We're not there yet. Have you done actual glisses before? Like finger glisses?
So I know that you can, like
yeah.
slide.
Yeah.
So I have to actually do a little bit of this in Tarzan. I'm playing for the Muncie Civic,
Nice.
and I haven't known how to do it, so.
So this one is, it's not a finger gliss, unfortunately. It's a. What am I doing?
Oh, it's a bend, right?
Yeah, that's a bend. Yeah, I know. Getting there.
Yeah.
Bends are hard to start with. Bends on multiphonics are like.
Uh-huh.
It's close. It's getting real close. So this is fun because you get to
You
do
could do the same
the
pitches,
melody. Yep.
right? Or up an octave, which one?
Whatever is
Voice
comfortable.
one octave lower. Right? Da-ga-da-da-ga-da-da-ga-da-da-ga-da.
What is your first? One.
Whatever, yeah.
Yeah. That's fair. And
Cool.
then, have you done Timbrel Chills before?
No. Well, I've played Deep Blue by him, and I think he might have some in there.
Yeah, so you kind of know.
It's like quarter tone things.
Basically, yeah.
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 Okay.
Yep. You get the idea. This is.
Is this normal?
You're singing and playing through here until it says no voice.
You do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's so fun. And then it goes into the
Different rhythm.
yeah. Then it goes into no voice. And this
Gotcha.
circular breathe if you're able.
Yeah, no.
We can all do that.
Nobody's Jasmine Choi.
Yeah.
Have you seen that video?
No.
She like does it for like over a minute.
Oh my god. No.
She shows off.
No. Yeah, she's allowed, I guess. And then you've seen basically everything else.
Mm-hmm.
But it is, of course, recommended that this whole piece is memorized.
Oh really?
I mean, by the composer, that doesn't mean that's actually necessarily.
It's more straightforward than it might first seem. Okay, gotcha.
And it definitely is. And he actually, it's kind of nice. He gives you the
Sound
piano
wave.
form.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, there's a
Now I want to get the piece because I've always
Do
wanted to
it.
play it, and I
Do
hear
it.
people play it a lot.
Yeah. Well, and do it. I mean, this is even something to start the semester with next year.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yeah.
she's great at it.
Yeah, that's one that I really want to do.
Mm-hmm. And then the only other thing that I really wanted to touch with you was jet whistles.
I don't know what that is.
Cool. That's what I didn't know. So you've probably heard
I also
it.
don't know how to do the tongue ram. Right, you get the low sound out of it. But we can do your jet whistles.
Okay, we can do both. We can do both. We have time. We can do both. So jet whistles are where you cover the whole embouchure hole, and you like finger. I usually do it on a D, not a B, because it's just a little bit easier. You need so much more air,
Is that
girl.
low D?
Low D.
And just blow?
Everything you got into that.
Right?
Yeah.
You want me to do more? Or
Do it.
no?
Yep. You're trying to
It's
blow out.
getting too low.
Yeah, you're trying to blow out the higher overtones. I can word. Getting there.
Do you use a lot of ab to do it, or where do you get your air from?
Yeah, there's a lot. I make sure it's not quite tight enough to hear it. I know it helps sometimes to actually be able to see.
Completely cover the hole?
Yeah, it's getting there. And sometimes, I find sometimes it depends on the instrument too. Some instruments can actually just do it better than others, which is kind of strange.
I also haven't had dinner yet, so my energy is at 80%.
You're like, okay, recharging. It's fair. But, yeah, it's a huge puff of air. It's just like, whoosh! And you see it in, there are composers who are starting to use it in like wind ensemble music too. Kelly uses it in Angels in the Architecture, which is
Okay.
really cool.
I think there was a group that played that at CBDNA, but not us.
Probably. It's a pretty, yeah. And then tongue rams, that's the other one you wanted to work on. So tongue rams are,
I like know the way that it's supposed to work, but I don't do it very well.
Okay.
I also don't practice it.
that's fair. Explain it. You explain it to me.
You cover up the hole just like you do for the jet whistles,
Mm-hmm.
but you put air through and your tongue blocks it. So, like,
The first one was great.
but I usually when I've heard it and liked it, and the thing that I can't get out of them is getting the low like plunk sound out of them.
That's hard. And it really, really, that one, it does take practice.
Yeah, that.
It's easiest on a low D, for sure.
Ooh.
Yeah. Most things are easy on a low D.
And you actually need to let it block what you're doing, not stop
Yeah.
your air early, right?
Nope, you have to let the air keep going and it has to stop it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Do people ever need to play it on certain pitches or no?
Yeah, it does change pitches sometimes. Usually it's in the lower register of the instrument. There we go.
I bet it's easier, maybe not, but on like a lower flute.
It's on a, yeah, it's easier on a lower, well, it can be easier on an alto. You'll get some chances to experiment with it on alto and bass next year, for sure. Because I don't know any flute choir rep we do that doesn't have something extended in it.
I would love to get to play some bass and alto because I didn't get to do that here.
You'll probably have to fight Aaliyah for it, but you'll get to. She won't fight you too hard. She's like, I've had 4 years, it's fine. 3 years, 4 years, whatever. She's gonna be senior. My freshman's gonna be a senior, that needs to not be a thing. Good. The other one, there's a couple other ones. Have you done whistle tones at all?
Not always intentionally, but I know
But
they
you
are,
know
yeah.
what they are and you know how to get them.
You're gonna low D again?
Yeah. I just go to low D. Ooh. That's a really
It's
good
going
one.
low and then really high. Is there anything in between?
Yeah, no. You kind of wind up having to sound like a teapot. I remember there was one piece, I think Heinrichs wrote it for Jennifer, and she was obviously premiering it, and he wrote in whistle tones with piano. She's like, buddy, they're not going to hear them.
Oh, that's true.
Well, sure, you can just play letter. No, then they're going to be the real note.
Yeah.
But, no.
What he probably wanted was harmonics then.
Yeah, and I think that's what they wound up going
Uh-huh.
with, because he finally understood, like, yeah, okay, fine.
Uh-huh. It's like there was a piece at a festival I was at where somebody wanted us to go. Oh. Like
Why?
And it was a piece that he composed for it, and I brought it to the flutist that was on staff, and I was like, I don't think I can do this, but I'm trying my hardest, and I've rubber banded my flute down. What do you think I should do? And she was like, oh, he needs to rewrite that because that's really not how you should play the flute.
There you go. That's what you always hope they're going to say.
Uh-huh.
The other one that you'll run into will probably be, other than, like, so
The bends.
yeah. Other than that, you'll probably run into tongue pizzicato a little bit, which is just super, super dry, short articulation.
Mm-hmm. Are you doing it with a puff?
You can do it with a puff. Yeah, largely it just kind of depends on how fast you have to get it going.
Mm-hmm. I've done some beatboxing, so I do it like
Nice.
the different chuz and cuz and puz and tuz.
So you got the like.
Well, I don't. That's like classical beatboxing. I feel like it's when they do the shaka taka taka. You know.
It depends on what it is, because like you'll probably. I would be surprised if you didn't run into charanga in the next couple years, which starts. I can't remember it now, but it starts with a zip. Zip.
Is it Spanish?
It is a salsa.
Okay.
It is a Colombian salsa, I think. That is a flute feature.
Gotcha.
So it's just
Cool.
kind of fun. So yeah, I mean, moving ahead, you've got that to work on, which will be fun. And yeah, you're in for a lot of extended techniques in Wisconsin.
Good.
So if you have any questions about any of it, let me know, and I'm happy to answer any of them.
Just like what book we used. And
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah, you can even take a picture of it before you go if you want.
Sure.
So you can shoot me an email, or text, because that's more or less how we. Or like if you have any totally wacky like questions that Jennifer needs to answer, I'm sure she'll be like, "How do you know this?" But sure. So yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.